Hey, good morning. I want to first come off saying I'm sorry. What was last night? What was that? 3 hours of a couple of minutes of a guest? 40 years. You you knew your show was doing very well. You were hitting year 39. At year 39, don't you think you could plan a better celebration of 40 years? And I know people, the major complaint was about Eddie Murphy coming out for like a quick second. His introduction was longer. Needless to say, that's because that's all they were allowed. If you look at all the guests that were there that made a difference for the show, they weren't given a lot of time at all. It seems that musical guests were given more time, and like novelty acts and snippets from other shows were given, previous shows were given more time, but the actual guests that helped make up SNL got like 90 seconds, if that. So I'm not mad at the guests. I'm mad at the planning. It was pretty poor planning. I mean, come on, 40 years of making us laugh. You couldn't do that. I mean, even some of the guests that came and spoke, they were ill prepared, or they were just brought in. I mean, there were people that didn't know their lines. There were people that weren't, didn't know what was going on. I mean, I remember one part when Eddie was talking, he had, he wanted to do more. You could tell he wanted to do more. But then he said, okay, isn't this where I'm supposed to be cut off? Isn't this where I'm supposed to be cut off? And I think it wasn't like where he wanted it cut off. It's like he was told it was supposed to be cut off. So you can't take too long doing what you wanted to do. This is where it's going to be cut off. And then they didn't cut it off. So he wasn't given a lot of time. The show was a mess. They tried to put in 40 years of hundreds and hundreds of actors that had come in to do what they do in 3 hours, and they didn't plan it well at all. I only watched 2 hours. I was so dedicated to watch the whole thing. I just couldn't. It was a mess. It was a total mess. So I apologize for getting so excited and getting you guys into it, but it was a mess. That's yesterday. Today, you want to know how cold it is outside? You see that? See that? That number? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how many degrees it is outside. 4 degrees. 4. I can't even go for a walk. Not with my mom around. Are you going out like that? Are you going to go out? It's cold. You can't go out. I'll never hear the end of it, so I'm in. And I'll just use my elliptical a little bit longer than normal. Mothers, that's all I say. That's all I will say. And I'll go, my mother. But enjoy your day off, guys. And SNL, disappointed. Guests, you have these people that help make the show what it was, and you shipped them in and shipped them out. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But I notice, like, on the radio shows, nobody's even talking about it anymore. I missed a lot of the good stuff because I was just so frustrated. But Betty White, Bradley Cooper. Yeah. Anyway, see you guys later. Have a great day. Keep warm. Be safe. Like I said, don't put your pets outside. No, that's scary. I know this is a long one, but notice this is longer than a lot of the guests that were on the show. Just keep warm and keep safe. If you know anybody that out and might be freezing, get help. And like I said, those numbers, 311 if you're in New York, 311 if your heat's off, and 911 if you notice somebody is not doing too well. So be safe, be warm, and be careful. SNL.